Liverpool's worst season in years is finally over, but now the real chaos begins. Mohamed Salah is gone, Andy Robertson is gone, and they might not be the only big names leaving Anfield this summer. Arne Slot is under pressure. The squad needs another rebuild despite spending $600 million last year. And right now, Liverpool could be heading toward the biggest squad clear-out of the modern era. So today on Anfield Central, we're breaking down the 12 players who could leave Liverpool this summer and the untouchable stars Slot must build around. Liverpool's massive summer clear-out. 12 players could leave Anfield. What if I told you Liverpool's rebuild hasn't even started yet? Not after spending $600 million last summer, not after one of the most disappointing seasons in recent memory, and not even after scraping Champions League qualification on the final day. Because now, the real chaos begins. Mohamed Salah is gone, Andy Robertson is gone, and they might not be leaving alone. There are now 12 Liverpool players who could have played their final game for the club. Some are aging, some are unhappy, some simply don't fit Arne Slot's system anymore. And honestly, this summer could define whether Liverpool bounce back into title contenders or completely lose their identity. So today, we're breaking down every major player who could leave Liverpool, which exits actually make sense, which ones would be disastrous, and the untouchable core Slot must build around. Because make no mistake, this is not a normal transfer window. This is a football reset. Liverpool's summer clear-out begins. Let's start with the obvious, the emotional part. Mohamed Salah and Andy Robertson are officially leaving Liverpool. And honestly, it still doesn't feel real. These aren't just good players leaving, these are modern Liverpool legends. Players who helped define the Klopp era. Players who transformed Liverpool back into European royalty. Salah arrived in 2017 and became one of the greatest forwards in Premier League history. Goals, assists, big moments, consistency. And Robertson, he completely redefined the modern left-back role at Liverpool. Intensity, leadership, mentality, relentless running. Together, they helped Liverpool win everything. Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, Club World Cup. And now, both are gone. This is where things get scary for Liverpool fans. Because replacing world-class footballers is difficult. Replacing dressing room leaders, that's even harder. And the biggest question now is, does Arne Slot actually know what this next Liverpool should look like? Because right now, this squad feels caught between two eras. And trust me, some of the next names on this list could shock Liverpool fans. Ibrahima Konate's situation is getting worrying. This might be the most dangerous situation Liverpool are dealing with right now. Ibrahima Konate, because unlike Salah or Robertson, Liverpool do not want him to leave. But there's a problem. His contract situation is becoming increasingly uncomfortable, and Liverpool fans are starting to notice the silence. After the Merseyside derby, Konate heavily hinted he was staying. Most supporters relaxed, but weeks later, still no announcement, still no extension. And in football, silence usually creates panic. Now tactically, this would be a massive loss. Konate is Liverpool's most physically dominant centre-back after Van Dijk. Recovery pace, aggression, aerial presence, ability to defend huge spaces. He's perfect for a high defensive line. And under Arne Slot, that profile becomes even more important. Because Slot wants aggressive pressing, compact structure, front foot defending. Konate fits all of it. The issue is availability. Injuries have constantly interrupted his momentum, and Liverpool now face a dangerous question. Do you commit huge money long-term, or risk losing another elite player for less than his value? Personally, Liverpool cannot afford this exit. Not after losing leadership already, not after an unstable season. If Konate leaves too, suddenly this rebuild looks far more dangerous. The players who feel closest to the exit. Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez has been linked with leaving Liverpool for years, and honestly, this finally feels like the summer. Not because he's a bad player, actually quite the opposite. Gomez is valuable, versatile, reliable depth, but that's the problem. He's become a squad player instead of a guaranteed starter. And at 29 years old, he may finally want a fresh challenge. AC Milan links make sense too. Serie A would suit him. Slightly slower tempo, more tactical structure, less chaos in transition. And with Jeremy Jacquet arriving, Liverpool may feel the timing is right. Would fans be devastated? Probably not. But would Liverpool miss his versatility? Absolutely. Wataru Endo. I actually think this one is underrated, because Endo became a fan favorite through pure effort. No ego, no drama, just commitment. But football moves quickly, and Endo clearly isn't happy with his minutes anymore, which is understandable. He came in to stabilize midfield chaos, and honestly, he did that better than most expected. But Slot wants mobility, intensity, vertical passing, press resistance. And physically, Endo may simply not match the long-term vision. This feels like one of those respectful departures where both sides understand the situation. Federico Chiesa. This one just never worked, and it's honestly sad. Because when Liverpool signed Federico Chiesa, fans thought they had stolen a world-class winger. Technically brilliant, direct, aggressive, creative. But injuries completely destroyed momentum. And sometimes in football, certain transfers simply never click. You can see the talent, you can see the flashes, but the rhythm never comes. Now a return to Italy feels inevitable, and honestly, it's probably best for everyone. Harvey Elliott. This one could divide Liverpool fans massively, because Harvey Elliott is talented. Nobody questions that. The issue is role. What is Harvey Elliott in this Liverpool side? He's not explosive enough to be an elite winger, not physical enough to dominate midfield, and defensively, there are still concerns. Under Klopp, his technical quality was protected more. Under Slot, intensity matters more, athleticism matters more. And after a nightmare loan spell at Aston Villa, it feels like the manager has already made his decision. Which honestly feels harsh considering Elliott's potential, but football at elite clubs is brutal. Potential eventually becomes, can you consistently impact games? And right now, Liverpool may feel the answer is no. But wait until we talk about the untouchable players, because some names there might surprise people. The most controversial names. Alisson Becker. Now this would shake football. Alisson linked away from Liverpool. And look, reports suggest he's happy at Anfield, but the rumours refuse to disappear. Juventus have been monitoring him, Saudi clubs always circle elite goalkeepers, and Liverpool now have Georgi Mamadashvili waiting in the background. So naturally, questions start appearing. But let me say this clearly, selling Alisson right now would be madness. Even during Liverpool's poor season, he remained one of the best goalkeepers in world football. There were matches Liverpool had no business winning, and Alisson basically saved them alone. Elite shot-stopping, calmness, leadership, distribution. He is still world-class, and when a team is unstable, your goalkeeper becomes even more important. Liverpool should not even entertain this idea. Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones is another fascinating case, because talent has never been the issue. The issue is consistency. One week he looks like a future Liverpool midfield leader, the next week he disappears. Inter Milan interest makes sense too. Technically secure, comfortable under pressure, tactically intelligent. Serie A could genuinely suit him. But here's the bigger question. Have Liverpool fans overrated Curtis Jones because he's from the academy? That's a serious debate, because after all these years, are we still waiting for the breakout season? Or is this simply the level he is? That's the decision Liverpool must make this summer.
Alexis McAllister. Now this rumour I personally don't buy. Yes, McAllister had a disappointing season by his standards. Yes, there were whispers about Manchester United, but Liverpool are not selling him. No chance. Because despite inconsistency, he remains one of the smartest midfielders in the squad. Press resistant, technically secure, tactically flexible, and more importantly, he understands rhythm. Liverpool desperately lacked control this season. McAllister is one of the few players capable of restoring it. Selling him now would create another massive problem immediately, and honestly, he's too important for Slot's rebuild.
Liverpool's untouchable core. Now this is the foundation. The players Liverpool simply cannot lose. The players everything must be built around. Virgil van Dijk. Even during a rough season, Virgil remains Liverpool's defensive leader. The aura still matters. The organisation still matters. The leadership still matters. And when a dressing room is changing this much, you need stability. Van Dijk provides it. Simple. Dominik Szoboszlai. This is a classic Arne Slot player. Intensity, athleticism, vertical football, aggression. Even when his output frustrates fans, his physical profile is crucial. Liverpool invested heavily in him for a reason, and under Slot, he becomes even more important. Ryan Gravenberch. I genuinely think Liverpool see Gravenberch as a future superstar. The club reportedly values him enormously, and you can understand why. The technical ceiling is ridiculous. Long strides, ball carrying, press resistance, midfield elegance. The consistency still needs work, but the potential is frightening. And Slot clearly views him as part of the long-term project. Milos Kerkez. This is the future left side of Liverpool. Young, aggressive, fearless. Kerkez fits modern football perfectly. And after Robertson's exit, Liverpool need a new identity at left-back. They believe Kerkez can become that player. Alexander Isak. If Liverpool really spent £125 million on Alexander Isak, then this attack is being built around him. No debate. Elite movement, composure, technical quality, finishing. He changes Liverpool's attack instantly. And honestly, this feels like Liverpool trying to replace Salah's output collectively instead of individually. Not by signing another winger, but by creating a more central attacking monster. Hugo Ekitike. And finally, Hugo Ekitike. Even after the Achilles injury, Liverpool reportedly still see him as untouchable. That tells you how highly they rate him internally. Because clubs don't protect players like this unless they truly believe in the ceiling. The talent is obvious, the physical tools are elite, and Liverpool clearly believe the long-term reward is worth the patience. What this really means. This summer is bigger than transfers. It's bigger than replacing Salah. This is about identity. Who are Liverpool now? Because for years, the club had a clear personality under Klopp. Intensity, emotion, chaos, belief. Now, Arne Slot must create his version of Liverpool. And honestly, this might be the hardest rebuild the club has faced in over a decade. Legends are leaving. Squad players are uncertain. Fans are divided. But at the same time, there's opportunity. A new core, a younger